starts right now.
A man is injured in an early morning fire that broke out on the city's east side, and the neighbor can be seen trying to put out those flames in doorbell camera photos. Sarah Costa joins us live in studio to show us those pictures and tell us the latest on that man who was injured. Sarah.
Hey, good afternoon, Daniela. I don't know if you can really see because it's super pixelated, but right here you could see the flames from that fire from this image. And this is the man, this is the neighbor. His name is Gilbert, and he is a neighbor that lives near the home that erupted in flames this morning on Brook Street. So Gilbert didn't want to talk to us on camera, but he shared these photos with us caught by his doorbell camera where you can see he is trying to put out the flames that are shooting through his neighbor's home with a garden hose. So Gilbert told us he woke up to a loud boom just before 8 this morning and ran outside to see his neighbor's home on Brook Street taken over by flames. This happening in the 200 block of Brooks, which is near where I-35 meets 37 near Pine Street. So right after that fire broke out, the San Antonio Fire Department says the two people living in that home, a husband and wife, ran to the front yard for safety. Firefighters tell us that the man was injured with some minor burns and checked out on scene. Later, he was taken to BAMC for further treatment. The wife was okay and no one else was hurt. Firefighters were able to put out the flames, but say the home is unlivable because of that damage. So at this time, firefighters don't know what started the fire and continue their investigation. Daniela?
All right, thank you, Sarah. A heads up for people in Italia. Today, the city issued a boil water notice. It says it's due to low water pressure. People in Italia should boil their water before using it. That goes for drinking, cooking, washing their face or hands, or brushing their teeth. The CDC says during a boil order notice, you should bring water to a full rolling boil for 1 minute. We're going to stay on top of this for you, so head to KSAT.com and we'll update you there when we learn more information. All right, taking a look at live cam now on this Thursday morning. You see traffic out there flowing smoothly out at the airport. A lot of people heading on a vacation, definitely what I want to be doing.
Yes, well, and you can see we've lost the clouds we had this morning, Daniela. We're still seeing a little bit of haze in the sky, and that's kind of been a big topic of conversation the last couple of days. It's air and dust. Where is it? Well, it's starting to move out. I think we're going to see some less hazy skies going forward. Let me show you the air quality, and quite honestly, it's improved since yesterday. Where we have that orange color is way up to the north and east across parts of Louisiana and far northeast Texas. We don't have that here, and that orange color is where you start to get into the unhealthy for those who are sensitive category. And yeah, things are a little bit better, and I think they'll continue to get better as the afternoon wears on. Another look outside. Blue skies, and yes, it looks a little less hazy than it did yesterday. 86 right now in San Antonio, already up to 90 in Converse, 82 Bernie and Kerrville. We'll make our way up into the upper 90s this afternoon. At least there's a little bit of a breeze, but this is what it feels like right now. 94 here in San Antonio when you factor in the humidity. It feels like 95 in Converse, and the heat index for sure will be over 100 later this afternoon. The air temperature forecast to be near 100 this weekend. The only bit of good news here, I think, is there is a small chance for a shower or storm both days, maybe a little better shot on Sunday. We'll explain why. We'll also talk about the tropics. We've got a system, an interesting system out near Florida. More on that coming up in just a couple minutes. Daniela?
Well, new details this afternoon in a murder investigation. San Antonio police now tell us someone drove up to a home and pushed a man out of a car. Then that person just took off. Officers found the man with multiple gunshot wounds. This is what it looked like just after 3 a.m. on Carranza Street. That's not far from Frio City Road on the southwest side. The victim died at the hospital, and as of right now, police haven't shared information with us about that suspect. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Houston today. She's scheduled to speak at the funeral of U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. The White House says it'll be happening in just over an hour. Last night, Harris addressed the Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, one of the historically black fraternities and sororities in Houston. Earlier yesterday, I should say, former President Donald Trump said Harris, the first black woman and Asian American to serve as vice president, had in the past only promoted her Indian heritage. Harris responded briefly during her speech to the sorority, saying Trump's display was an example of his, quote, divisiveness and disrespect. Well, the U.S. and Russia have completed their biggest prisoner swap in post-Soviet history. The multinational deal set some 24 people free. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington with the details.
President Biden says the prisoner exchange includes the release of 3 Americans and 1 legal permanent resident. Among the released are Evan Gerskovich and Paul Whelan. Gerskovich is a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, arrested by Russian authorities in March of 2023.
We want him to come home as soon as possible.
Russian authorities charged Gerskovich with espionage, a charge both he and the U.S. deny.
We condemn the detention of Mr. Gerskovich in the strongest terms.
Gerskovich faced a 3-day trial in Moscow 2 weeks ago and was found guilty, sentenced to 16 years in Russian prison.
This was a fast, secret, and completely bogus trial. Everything about it was a sham.
Paul Whelan is a former Marine, arrested while traveling in Russia in 2018. He was also charged with espionage, convicted in 2020, sentenced to 16 years in prison. Whelan, the Biden administration, and Trump administration denied the allegation from Russian authorities. Secretary of State Antony Blinken asked about both Gerskovich's and Whelan's cases last month.
When it comes to Evan, when it comes to Paul Whelan in Russia, other Americans, we're working it quite literally every day.
The last high-profile prisoner exchange included basketball player Brittany Griner back in 2022. She was exchanged for a Russian weapons dealer. We are still waiting to learn more about this prisoner exchange. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
A team is dedicated to finding and serving domestic violence survivors. Why it's had one specific office at Haven for Hope since it opened in 2010. Now to an alarming fact about our homeless population. The majority are women and children, a lot of them escaping domestic violence. Take a look at these numbers. This year's point-in-time survey recording homelessness trends found 524 people experiencing homelessness in San Antonio were fleeing abuse. The overall count from 2023 increased by 51%. Courtney Friedman has led KSAT's coverage of domestic violence for 8 years now, but she just learned that San Antonio's top prevention organization has a manager housed at the homeless shelter Haven for Hope.
Never knew this was here. This office has been at Haven for Hope since it opened in 2010. It belongs to Leslie Schultz, but she's not a Haven employee. She's the clinical services director at Family Violence Prevention Services, which offers survivors a number of resources, including the Battered Women and Children's Shelter. Overall, pretty much the same services offered at Haven.
We talk a lot about Family Violence Prevention Services and the shelter resources.
Right.
These seem pretty similar because it's coming through you.
It is.
People can get those here as well.
It is, absolutely.
Schultz says her team spends an average of 200 hours a month with their clients, sometimes ensuring them they are experiencing abuse. It's most often thought of as physical or sexual, but it can also be verbal, emotional, and financial. Schultz says that's the one that plays a huge role in victim homelessness.
No access to family finances. Even if they were employed, it was required that they gave their paycheck endorsed to their offender.
When a client is ready to be fully enrolled here at the intake center, they're given these forms. And at the very top of the form, you're able to check if you're fleeing domestic violence.
Those families are led to Schultz. They get counseling, a case manager, employment classes. Plus, domestic violence survivors are placed at the top of the list for rapid rehousing.
This is not a woman comes in with one kid, maybe. These families have 5 kids, 6 kids.
If someone is forced to continue to become pregnant, have children, level of dependency upon offender spikes.
If the abuser finds the family at Haven or they prefer it, they can be transferred to the Battered Women and Children's Shelter with those same resources.
We're giving them their voice back, their autonomy, their empowerment.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, there is help out there. There are so many resources out there for victims of domestic violence. Just pull out your phone, scan this QR code, or visit our website, ksat.com/domestic violence. All right, taking a look right now outside at Live Cam. It's at the airport right there. Traffic's flowing very smoothly, and it is a clear, beautiful blue sky.
Not a cloud in the sky, and that's going to lend itself to some hot temperatures today and some hot temperatures going forward. There is a glimmer of hope, though. We have some rain chances by the time we get into the weekend. The aquifer is down today. We could use some more rain, down on 636.2. And your pollen count, Fall Elm leads the way at 120. Molds are low, as is pigweed. It's down to 40. We'll take a look at those rain chances for you. Look ahead over the next 7 days as well. There could be a few triple digits mixed in there as well. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, it's time to check in with our friends over at SA Live, and Jen and Fiona are there. What do you guys have going on?
Hey guys, yes, today we're talking about cravings. So, Sean,
no one's pregnant.
Yes, thank you. I was waiting for Fiona to, let's clarify that first, okay? Cravings because, well, Sean Elliott stopped by KSAT yesterday. Our RJ Marquez, yes, got to interview him, and we kind of piggybacked off of that. And many of you may have seen on social media that he had a heart procedure, and after that, he was craving chicken, and he got his chicken, a big old plate of chicken. So we're going to share more about Sean in our show as well today. Got us thinking about the cravings because Sean went off about, oh, I want this kind of chicken, this kind of chicken.
I was like, what type of chicken was he craving? Was it like chicken wings? Like
he mentioned barbecue chicken, chicken satay, and then the one that he ate right after, I think it was just chicken wings, right, Ted?
That's
chicken
what
wings.
I had.
Yeah,
right.
right.
I guess we have that in common now.
Yes, I guess you guys do. Yes, so that's our question today. What are you craving? Because he was really craving that. You know when you just had that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything?
Any of those moments for you guys?
I have cookies. I always crave cookies. After every meal, I have a sweet tooth, and I gotta have a cookie.
Just for you, Justin.
Wait a second. Okay, that looks really good.
Yeah, wait till you see what we have on the show today.
I wonder if we can get an SA Life Ferry to deliver some treats over there.
I think
we'll
we're
work on
down
that.
with
What about you, Dan? Is it chicken wings, Daniela?
Well, no, I had chicken wings last night. I'm craving a taco right now.
That works too.
Yeah.
See?
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, tacos all day long. Yes.
All right, scan that QR code and let us know, and hopefully we'll see some of those answers in our show live here from Historic Market Square at 1 o'clock.
All right, we'll see you then.
Ooh. All looks good. All sounds good.
Ice cream sounds good too.
Yes, good choice with the kind of heat that we're going to be dealing with. Temperatures probably going to get near 100 this weekend.
Ooh, not fun.
Well, you know, it's August. We were so spoiled in July.
I know.
Now we're drifting into more typical summer-like weather. So I want to start with the drought monitor. These come in on Thursdays, okay? So we were hoping for some big improvement today. This is last week's drought monitor. And you see we have some extreme drought there across parts of Bandera, Kerr County, Kendall County. And this was an area that actually got quite a bit of rain. So we thought that with this week's drought monitor, it would get better. It really didn't. This was the change, and there wasn't much. Honestly, I'm surprised because eastern Bandera County got quite a bit of rain. But maybe we're making up for just a pretty huge deficit here. So that is the latest. San Antonio still in a moderate drought. There was some improvement out west. Not much, but a little bit. Del Rio, Uvalde. I don't think we're going to be eating into this week because there's just not much rain in the forecast. But hopefully going forward, eventually we can get rid of this drought. We have seen some minor improvements. And July helped actually in a big way. It's not the month you would think we would get some help, but we did. Some good numbers really throughout the month. And there was a stretch here, the 18th through the 25th, where we either saw measurable precipitation or a trace for days in a row, which is incredible. And places outside of the airport saw even more rain than that. So 4.25 officially at San Antonio International, and that is above average for July, 1.84 inches above average to be exact. The reason we're not seeing any rain today is our big blue H, that ridge of high pressure, which is settling in over the Texas Panhandle. It's providing for some really warm temperatures. Places like Oklahoma City, Abilene, Dallas, where we're going to be above 100, 100 in Wichita, 107 in Las Vegas, and really the entire country is seeing some really hot temperatures today. The exceptions would be up across the Midwest, Chicago and Minneapolis, not bad there. San Francisco. The cool spot in the country today, they got some onshore flow, 68 degrees the high there. Sounds pretty nice. But with all that heat, you got heat advisories, excessive heat warnings for a large portion of the country, and the southeast specifically, also in the Pacific Northwest as well. So a lot of real estate here when you're talking about these heat advisories. We don't have them here, but it will be awful hot. Our ridge of high pressure is steering everything up and around Texas, so we hardly have any cloud cover. And as I've been talking about, that Saharan dust is finally kind of shifting out. We had a good plume yesterday. You could really see it, especially at sunset, but I think we're starting to see that kind of lift to the north. High pressure in the upper levels does scoot west. This bodes well for us. Still going to be hot this weekend, but this opens the door for a weak frontal boundary, which will not move through. But by Saturday at 5 o'clock, it maybe gets close enough to kick off some showers and storms that could drift into the hill country. And then on Sunday, if we can get some of these outflow boundaries or that boundary itself to get a little bit closer, I think we'll see some isolated showers and storms. It's not a guarantee. And the rain chances are honestly on the low end, but they are there. And so we'll hope to at least get a little bit of something. You still can see a little bit of haze on the horizon there as we look towards downtown. Temperature right now, 86. We're up to 90 in New Braunfels and Converse, so you can almost bet we'll be in the upper 90s here this afternoon. And winds have let up a little bit. We had some breezy winds yesterday, not as strong, but we'll see them in the 5 to 15 mile per hour range today. Any morning cloud cover that we had is essentially gone. We have some clouds out around Uvalde. Those are quickly going away, so it's going to be a sunny afternoon. 97 is where I think we end up. That feels like number anywhere from 103 to 105, and it probably takes until 9 p.m. or so for us to drop below 90 degrees with mostly clear skies, and we'll see some morning clouds build in tomorrow. We end up at 98, 100 on Saturday, 98 on Sunday, and this is where we get to add in those small rain chances. I think probably 10% Saturday, 20% Sunday. We'll keep our fingers crossed for something. And then next week, also hot. Mostly sunny and upper 90s most of next week. I promised we'd look at the tropics. I've got the latest on that. We've got an interesting spaghetti plot, too, when it comes to this system in the Atlantic. We'll have more on that in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Justin. Well, the Olympics may be taking place all the way in Paris, but people right here in San Antonio, they're feeling the excitement. Our Stephanie Serna spoke with some local athletes about what seeing Team USA win gold means to them. The 2024 Summer Olympics are underway, and looking at the medal count, U.S. leading with 31 medals total, and China down here with 11 gold medals. They're leading the charge, but the one gold medal that everyone's talking about is, of course, Simone Biles leading the U.S. women's gymnastics team to a gold medal in the team final. It sparked excitement among the gymnastics community, and as our Stephanie Serna shows us here in San Antonio, for some local athletes, watching the women compete is not only exciting, but also inspiring.
Oh, yeah. My favorite gymnast is probably Suni Soli. And Simone Biles.
No matter who's your favorite gymnast on the U.S. women's gymnastics team, the entire team now winning gold and winning hearts, including the hearts of local athletes.
What does it mean to you to see, some of these, very, very talented gymnasts who are competing in Paris?
It encourages me to be like them one day, so I can watch them and learn stuff from them, so I can get to their place one day.
Push down on the bar.
It's preseason for competitors at the Southern Gymnastics Club in San Antonio. However, these young athletes were able to take a break from training to watch the best of the best in gymnastics.
What do you see when you see them watching what's on the screen here, like for example today?
Oh, they just fall in love with the sport a little bit more. They get to be a part of something bigger than themselves, which is what team sports is all about. And so watching Simone and Jordan and Jade accomplish all their goals really makes us feel a part of it.
What's happening at the Paris Olympics, hitting close to home here in San Antonio. All the local gymnasts have their eyes on the USA women's gymnastics team, and especially Simone Biles as she makes her comeback.
Some of the girls have gone through things, and so I can kind of see how that didn't stop them from making them Olympics. So it kind of helps me.
And gymnastics is also a sport that co-owner of Southern Gymnastics Club, Jeremy Veit, believes should be top of mind all the time, not just during the Olympics.
Sports don't have to be about gold medals. They don't have to be about the Olympics. They don't have to be about college scholarships. Sports are about developing time management, discipline, work ethic, learning how to respond when you get knocked down, learning how to fight through adversity.
Stephanie Serna, KSAT 12 News.
I love that story so much. Well, once your pet has fleas, it can be a chore to get it under control. The steps you should take right away after you spot those fleas. Plus, landowners in Bandera are upset. They're accusing a solar company of putting their health at risk. How the battle between the landowners and the company continues today. Landowners in Bandera accuse a solar company of putting their health and lives in jeopardy. For months, KSAT Investigates has followed the battle between property owners and the solar company tied to the construction of a solar farm. This afternoon, a judge is set to hear more arguments about the latest issue. I spoke with landowners who say the damage is already done.
This is what ranchers pray for, but what Andrew Boger believes the rain is carrying is what he's dreaded.
It's a pretty horrific event to watch.
Boger hoped this sprawling Bandera property would be his oasis. He says the Rio Lago solar farm being worked on next door destroyed the peace.
Just the magnitude of what it's going to do to our lives over the next couple years.
In just the last few months, landowners, including Boger, have asked the judge for help. Back in March, Judge Pat McGuire signed a temporary injunction preventing Pine Gate Renewables LLC from moving forward with construction. Summertime thunderstorms brought in a downpour of new legal issues.
It filled the tanks with that contaminant and it killed all of our aquatic life, our turtles. And at the end of the day, we're contaminated. And they will continue to deny it. They will continue to say they've done everything that they could have, and they haven't.
It's why Boger and other landowners are once again asking for the court's help.
These are people's houses. These are people's lives.
Attorney Jen Rosenblatt represents the landowners.
Why did you guys have to come to court today? Because they have failed and refused to do anything. We have tried to get them to do testing. They won't. We have tried to show them the flow of the water. They have ignored it. What they are doing is making the flow worse.
It's why she's asking the judge to require Pine Gate and Rio Lago to install a sediment control measure.
All we want them to do is quit working until they know how to solve the problem.
Boger says cleaning up the contaminants is complicated. While a judge could make a ruling this week, Boger says the damage is done.
A win in this case would have been stopping it before it happened. It's a loss now. There is no win now. There's no win for anybody.
And that court hearing set to resume later today. All right, taking a look now at live cam. I said it was clear earlier, but the more I look at it, it's very hazy out there.
Yeah, we do have some of that haze still around. So we've been watching that Saharan dust. I know a lot of people have been talking about it last couple days, and it's on its way out. We're going to see sort of the end of it. We'll still see a really beautiful sunset tonight, I think, with some of the haze still lingering. But by tomorrow, I think you'll notice skies will be quite a bit bluer. So let's look at the forecast model when it comes to this dust. And honestly, the thickest of the plume is now up around Dallas and parts of Oklahoma. And as we go into tomorrow, it really lets up, breaks apart, and we should see a break from the dust for at least a little while. There is some more out in the Atlantic, but I don't think it's going to be affecting us anytime soon. What may affect us, though, a weak disturbance coming through this weekend along with a weak boundary could give us a small chance for rain. Right now, we're going with a 20% chance on Sunday. Certainly, it'll be few and far between, but there is a chance there. We want to let you know that it'll be a hot weekend, and we'll have to maybe dodge a shower or storm. Hot today, too. This is the forecast heat index this afternoon. Right now, the models are going anywhere from 102 to 103. We're already seeing heat indices in the mid-90s. So it stands to reason we'll be right back there again today. Places like Floresville, Nixon, and Gonzales will see even higher heat indices due to higher humidity levels there. And this kind of trend continues, and in fact, could even get a little bit worse before it gets better. We will look at that forecast over the weekend, which does include some triple digits here in just a little bit. Daniela?
Thank you, Justin. Well, 3 alleged 9/11 attackers have reached a plea deal. The U.S. Department of Defense says it includes the accused main plotter of the attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. He was captured in Pakistan back in 2003. He was charged in 2008 with a list of crimes for his alleged involvement in the deadly attack that killed nearly 3,000 people on September 11, 2001. 9/11 victims and survivors were sent a letter. In it, they were told the 3 men are expected to plead guilty at a hearing as early as next week. As part of that agreement, the 3 men agreed to answer written questions from the surviving 9/11 victims and victims' families. Families have 45 days to submit questions. More student loan borrowers could soon see potential debt relief. The U.S. Department of Education says it affects roughly 25 million borrowers with at least one outstanding federally held loan. Now, there are a few groups targeted in this latest effort. That includes borrowers whose debt has grown, even though payments were made for many years. Another group, those who took out undergrad loans on or before July 1st, 2005, or graduate loans on or before July 1st, 2000. Now, some others include those who qualify for debt forgiveness but never applied. This latest plan is expected to take effect in the fall, but regulations are not yet finalized and adjustments could be made. Well, we're weeks away from students going back to school, and another FAFSA setback could delay financial aid for college students. The Education Department says colleges will not be able to submit corrections in bulk to update students' financial aid records. It's the latest setback in the launch of the new free application for federal student aid website that's also known as FAFSA. Colleges have waited months to send batches of corrected records. Well, it can be hard to miss, but if you notice your furry friend has been scratching too hard, your pet and home could have fleas. But before you get too grossed out, digital journalist Ivan Herrera tells us the things you need to do right away to get life and that itch back under control.
Fleas may be small, but they can cause big problems for your pet.
Once the flea is on them, they start to chew on them, and they can actually cause what's called a hypersensitivity reaction or an allergic reaction to the saliva of the flea.
And once your pet has them, they can quickly invade your home.
They can bite people, so, once they're in their house, they'll hide in floorboards or in your carpet,
making it hard to get rid of them. So, if you find yourself dealing with them, here's what you can do.
Start with your pets. Bathe them with a mild soap like Dawn dish detergent, because this can drown the fleas, and then use a metal flea comb to remove them.
Next, tackle your home. Vacuum daily and wash pet bedding in hot water to eliminate eggs and larvae. And now, out to your yard.
Fleas like humid, shady grass areas, so keeping your grass short and your bushes trimmed can make it less inviting for them.
Of course, preventing fleas and ticks is going to be your best option. Your vet can recommend a topical or oral flea and tick medication that's right for the age and size of your pet. And stay away from using flea collars, which can contain chemicals that have been shown to have troubling health impacts on dogs, cats, and humans. Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
Take time to regularly inspect your pet by parting their fur and looking for small, dark, fast-moving insects, and pay close attention to the neck, belly, and base of the tail. And if you're worried that you have fleas in your home, put on a pair of white socks and just walk around. Fleas will jump onto the socks, making them easier for you to spot. Well, your morning cup of coffee could be getting more expensive. The reasons behind the rise up next. Plus, we're introducing you to a local women's rugby team. They hope this week's big Olympic win for the U.S. means big things for women's sports in the future. And a new study reveals the types of cancer growing amongst the younger generation, what experts say could be leading to those rising rates next.
So a lot of memories in this room and a lot of memories down on base too.
For nearly 4 decades, they've been known for their Southern-style cooking. Inside the walls at Acadiana Cafe are memories and ongoing laughter. Reporter Patty Santos walked through those memories with the owner of the cafe. You can watch her full story right now at KSAT.com. A new study suggests certain types of cancer are becoming more common in younger adults. Researchers looked at data of more than 23 million people who were diagnosed with cancer between 2000 and 2019. Among the 34 types of cancer they examined, they found 17 appeared to be more common in Gen X and millennials when compared to older generations. The researchers also found 10 of those cancers are tied to obesity. Experts say rising childhood obesity rates, decreased physical activity, and increased use of more advanced diagnostic tests might be the reason behind the rising cancer rates in younger adults. Some of the cancers on the rise in younger adults include colorectal, leukemia, pancreatic, uterine, and testicular cancer. There is some good news, though. Cancers related to tobacco are declining in the younger generation. Coffee is getting more expensive, and climate change is partly to blame. Last month, the International Coffee Organization reported prices hit a 13-year high, averaging $2.27 per pound. Roasters and coffee experts signaled that it could stay that way for a while, thanks to climate change, they say. Coffee is more sensitive to changes in temperatures than other crops. Coffee retailers, they're already feeling that pressure. Italian coffee maker Lavazza says it raised prices this year because of poor harvests, climate change, like they said, the war in Ukraine, and conflict in the Red Sea. Now, a reminder, the San Antonio Solid Waste Management Department is no longer accepting single-use plastic bags in blue recycling bins, even if they are bundled. The city says the bags get tangled with other trash, which makes it difficult to recycle. The bags can also stick to storing equipment and cause machinery problems. By the way, this new rule starts today. All right, it's 12:41 on this Thursday afternoon. We're looking at live cam. Traffic still moving very slowly out there, or moving smoothly, I should say. And a couple clouds started to pop up there.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 out there on live cam. Not many. It's going to be another hot day. So far today, we're up to 86. The low this morning was 78. This is fairly average, and temperatures this afternoon will be pretty close to average. The record is 103 set back in 2013. Not in jeopardy today. I don't think we'll be setting any records anytime soon, but we may see some triple digits in our near future. We looked at plus the tropics, as promised, coming up after the break.
Running forward and passing backward. That's 2 tips a local women's rugby team has for the game. Our very own John Paul Barajas went to go visit the team and see how they continue to inspire young women.
In that last play, they're back against their own try line. They're at the very end of the field, and she just runs over some people and sprints at 90 meters, and it was fantastic.
That was the coach who watched the U.S. women's team win bronze in Paris this week. Since the big win, more attention has been drawn to the sport here statewide. And I know I was in the newsroom yesterday when he was getting ready for it. I know he was prepping for it. I wonder if he's all bruised up today from, because did you see he got tackled a couple times?
He did. He took a pretty good hit. And he had some good moves there too. I'm proud of JP. He went out there and took care of business. He learned pretty quick. He's a quick learner, but those ladies are tough.
They're the real deal.
Yes, they are. And it has been fun to watch it. Watched it in the Olympics and watch all the events. There's been some interesting ones this year, so it's been fun. The women's rugby team doing really well, actually.
Yes, all of our.
Yeah, we're doing well in the medal count, that's for sure. Okay, tropics, what's going on out there? We've got a busy situation out in the Pacific. Carlotta, and we may get Daniel here soon. I think this happens probably today, so we could have 2 named storms out in the Pacific. And then there's another area of disturbed weather that we're not too worried about, 20% chance here. These are all moving west out into the open Pacific. Shouldn't cause really any big problems to Mexico or anything like that, but it does go to show you that things are just getting ramped up. It took a little while in the Pacific for that to happen, but we're there. And as we go to the Atlantic, we have a new area now that is looking for, or it looks like it could develop. And I got to tell you, this just turned red. What does that mean? Well, that means the odds are going up now. The Hurricane Center thinks the odds are going up now that this is going to develop into something. And why they have this area outlined, it's going to take until this system probably gets past Cuba for there to be development. But when it does, it could be fairly rapid, and I think folks in Florida and the northern Gulf Coast definitely need to keep an eye on this. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. This is a spaghetti plot, and watch what some of these models do. Just a giant loop-de-loop. Do we trust that? Probably not yet. We don't even have a center of circulation yet. These computer models are going to change for sure. There's a lot of error going on until we can get a good center of circulation. This thing gets a little more established. But this goes to show you that there are still some questions here. And again, people in Florida, people in Cuba, the Gulf Coast want to keep a close eye on this. Could it affect Texas? Does not look that way. But I would say let's watch it until we have a little better idea of exactly what it's going to do. The troughs and ridges of high pressure to its north are going to dominate and really direct where this thing is going to go. So that may change a little bit, and that's why it certainly needs to be watched. Speaking of ridge of high pressure, the one that's affecting our forecast is going to start to move off to the north and west. As it does, it's going to open up the door a little bit to allow a weak boundary to settle south. Now, this is not a cold front that's going to come in and cool us down at all. In fact, it stalls out, probably just to our north, but there's enough there, enough lift to where you can get some showers and storms right along the boundary. And if we could get some of the outflow boundaries or the boundary itself to push a little bit further south by Sunday, I think we could get a little bit more activity here in San Antonio, 20% chance at best. That's just how it goes with these frontal boundaries. They don't generate a lot, but we have to mention it because that chance is there. And as we look outside, one thing I'm noticing here is visibility is just a little bit better than it was yesterday. If you remember, we were trying to look at downtown yesterday and it was kind of hard to see. So that tells me that dust is kind of starting to shift out. Good for our allergies, I think. 86 here in San Antonio, 90 in New Braunfels, 90 in Converse, 84 Bernie, 85 in Kerrville. And as we look at the heat index, this is what it feels like at this moment. When you factor in that humidity, 97 here in town, 97 in Converse. We are now close to 100 at Stinson. I would imagine within the hour, we're going to see those heat indices be 100 plus. And they stay that way through about 6 o'clock. So know that it is going to be hot, humid, and that doesn't really change going forward. Even though we got that chance of rain over the weekend, we're still talking about temperatures 100 on Saturday, 98 on Sunday, and obviously it's going to feel hotter than that. The humidity is not going anywhere. And there's a visible satellite picture. Yeah, really no clouds in sight other than right along the coast, and I don't expect much today. So a 98, as we said, Friday. There are those small rain chances Saturday, Sunday. This is really a very typical August-like pattern that is setting up. So it looks like we're going to have to power through the next couple of weeks, Daniela, because it is going to be very hot.
Yeah, that does not look fun at all.
Yep.
All right, Justin, thank you. Well, now to the cost of childcare and a possible new way to ease the burden on working parents. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley with what parents need to know.
Any working parent will tell you childcare costs have skyrocketed. The numbers don't lie. Parents have seen prices rise at nearly double the pace of inflation. Daycare and preschool costs are up 263% since 1990.
We felt like it was important for us to come together to have a common sense, bipartisan solution.
And now a new proposal in Washington aims to make childcare more affordable by retooling existing tax credits to help working parents. The plan from Senators Tim Kaine of Virginia and Katie Britt of Alabama would double the amount of expenses that employees can put into pre-tax savings accounts for child care. And it would increase the child care tax credit to $2,500 for single child families and $4,000 for families with multiple kids.
We nearly double the size of the tax credit, and we make it refundable. A lot of low-income families, they're not paying federal income tax, so the tax credit doesn't help them. You make it refundable, they can use it.
The proposal also includes grant money to boost pay for workers to hopefully keep them from fleeing to higher paying jobs in other industries. Kaine and Britt are optimistic there is political will to pass this plan in the near future.
People are talking to every member of Congress, Democrat or Republican, House or Senate. We're hearing about this at home. We need to find a solution. And this is a novel, kind of a new approach.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
All right, we have a nice treat here.
Yes, SA Live was so nice to hook us up. Check this out. Some chocolate. Loving this. They hook us up sometimes, and I feel really good about this. I told them I had a sweet tooth, and, you know.
They heard you.
They did, and I appreciate it.
We tried, Justin. And that is the Dubai chocolate bar, which is kind of trending, right?
Yep,
it's gone viral.
We take you to the place in town where you can get it. And they said it is so popular right now. Of course, it is the internet's latest food craze, so it is just flying off the shelves.
Wow.
That's really good.
I'm trying to see the reaction here. What do you think? Thumbs up?
Really good. So what's in it?
It's got
You'll have to find
pistachio.
out.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tune in.
You don't get all the answers right now. No.
Yes. Well, Fiona got to go there, but also we talked to Sean Elliott, Spurs legend. Now everybody's been worried, concerned. He had a procedure, and we have that story now. RJ got to interview him, and we kind of piggybacked off of that. And one thing that we noticed is that he was craving some chicken. Okay, his wife shared the video. He had a big old plate of chicken right after the procedure, which leads us to our question of the day. What are you craving today?
Yes.
Scan that QR code and weigh in.
Yes, let us know. And of course, a local group is using bike riding to empower women of color, right?
That's right. Tina's right over here with us, and we're going to talk about an upcoming event, but also safety is key, right?
Yes.
And one thing to keep in mind if you're going to try biking?
It's always to wear your helmet. That's the first piece of gear.
Okay, and it has to fit right?
Yes, have to be secure and fit properly.
All right, Tina's going to share more tips and talk about their organization a little bit later also.
Oh yeah, so we get a taste of Lobster Week here. Oh, that's right. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, we've got all the delicious details coming up, all that and more when SA Live continues in just a few.
Well, SeaWorld is relaunching preschool card registration with unlimited admission through 2024. These cards are going to give your kid unlimited access all season long. They do have to be between 3 and 5 years old. Just head to our website, KSAT.com, for more details on how to sign up.
And last look at the forecast. We're already at 90. We'll be up around 97 today. The hazy skies move away, and hopefully we'll get a shower or two this weekend. Not a guarantee, but 20% chance on Sunday. At least there's a chance. And that chocolate, so good. I've never heard of, was
Dubai?
It Dubai chocolate? But I'm sold.
My sister just texted me. She's so jealous that we got to try this.
So amazing.
It was good.
So good. Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's head over to SA Live and see what's going on there.
Back Room was a music venue that survived miraculously for more than 30 years.
A Texas filmmaker digs into the gritty underworld of the Austin music scene. Our intern Tori chats one-on-one with the minds behind the new film, Bloody and Bruised, the untold story of the Back Room.
The Dubai chocolate is the internet's latest food craze, and we are going to show you where you can grab it right here in town.
And it's Lobster Week. If you're feeling fancy, dig in. We have a chef with us making all those summer lobster favorites today on SA Live.
Celebrating 10 years, live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
I'm doing great. It's great that I can come on and let everybody know that I'm not laying up in bed. I'm not suffering. I am doing very, very, very well. Couldn't be better, actually.
Yes, this week, many Spurs fans are breathing a sigh of relief, myself included, after learning that Sean Elliott is